What's going on, everyone? So welcome to my latest video. This is obviously part of a series where I focus on a specific year and rank those movies from worst to best in terms of Academy Award nominations from said year. Done such years in the past such as 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, and you guessed it because you did click on this video. This time around, I'm focusing on the 2005 Academy Award Best Picture nominees and ranking them from worst to best. And just like all those other years I mentioned, there were 5 Best Picture nominees, so I'll be ranking them from 5 being the worst to 1 being the best, and of course, my humble opinion. That being said, I will be looking forward to hearing your guys' thoughts on your ranking down below. Definitely put it in the comment section. But guys, enough exposition. Let's get started into the controversial year of 2005 Best Picture nominees. So, kicking things off, number 5, we have Capote. So Capote is a rock-solid film. I like it. I think that Philip Seymour Hoffman does a great job with the lead role. It's a very moody, atmospheric film. I liked it. It took me a long time to want to see this film. To be honest with you, I would say it was, what, 2012, 2013. I put it on my my watch list on Facebook, and I didn't watch it until, like, what, 2020? So it was a long time. And I got to say, this is a film I definitely want to revisit at some point. But for now, I think that it's rock solid. It does hit some of the biopic cliches that you would expect. But overall, it's a very well-acted film. And again, it is very atmospheric. And yeah, it's worth watching alone for Philip Seymour Hoffman's lead performance. But yeah, it's my number 5. Next up, my number 4. I know, my number 4 is the one that a lot of people will have as the number 5. And I can respect that. But my number 4 is Crash. Look, it seems that, especially on social media, that I'm in the minority with this, but I actually like Crash. But look. By no means is it a perfect movie. Is it preachy? For sure, especially in the third act, for sure. Does it have its issues? Yeah, of course. It is by no means a perfect movie, and it is definitely not one of the Best Picture nominees. I mean, one of the Best Picture winners, I should say, because it did win Best Picture for this year. It should not have won Best Picture. That's very clear. But when some people are like, oh, this is the worst Best Picture winner ever in the Academy Award history. I'm sorry. Have you seen like 5 Best Picture winners or something? Like, because let me tell you, I've seen every Best Picture winner. And for me personally, this is definitely not even close to being the worst. Come on. This is not a bad movie. It is a movie that it's an ensemble piece. It has a bunch of characters, all over the place, but also in the same city, and how their lives are interwoven at some points, and how, there are a lot of themes and messages that are interwoven with all of them. I like that ensemble cast. I like the ideas. It reminds me a lot of like Paul Thomas Anderson and, what he did with Magnolia and Boogie Nights. Obviously not as great, but it is a film that I think that it is well put together. It has its issues for sure, but I would be lying if I said that I've only seen this film once. I have seen this film a handful of times. Sue me. But yeah, anyways, that was my number 4. Next up, my number 3 is Good Night and Good Luck. So I have this as number 3 because despite seeing it only once and thinking it's solid, I haven't been able to stop thinking about it recently. Like when I was putting together this list, I was like, oh yeah, that movie, I feel like now I would appreciate even more. And just like, the real life history, and also how apparently it's very historically accurate. The great acting, like the performances are really good. The black and white cinematography. There's a lot to appreciate in this film. And I definitely want to revisit it. And part of me wants to pick up the Blu-ray. The other part of me says it might get a 4K transfer at some point. But who knows? Either way, I've wanted to revisit this film. And I like it. I think that overall it is a rock solid film. And yeah, that's why it's my number 3. Next up, my number 2 is Munich. So this is a Steven Spielberg film. It is underappreciated these days, I would say. I'm not going to say that it is underrated because, I mean, it got nominated for Best Picture. It is very highly acclaimed by critics, and audiences seem to like it too when it came out. I just kind of feel like these days it gets kind of underseen because, when people think of Spielberg, they obviously think of like, Close Encounters, or E.T. or Jaws, movies like that. And that's understandable because all those movies are good to great. But I feel like a movie like Munich, once you see it, you're like, holy cow, this is great. I've seen it twice, and my goodness, each time it gets better and better. Like the second time, I found it to be even more impactful than the first time, but the filmmaking on display is electric, and it is a very, very intense film. If you haven't done so already, please check out Munich. It is a really, really good film. And yeah, well, that's my number 2. Next up, my number one is the film that, in my personal opinion, I think should have won Best Picture, and I know a lot of people would also agree with that, and I think that that's like the middle ground for a lot of viewers that are going to be watching this, but my number one is Brokeback Mountain. So when I say middle ground, I mean that a lot of people, I'm sure, aren't going to be happy that Crash is my number 4 and not my number 5. But look, despite saying that Crash was rock solid, whatever. Brokeback Mountain, I think, is a masterpiece. And I think that, yes, it should have won Best Picture. Without a doubt, it should have won Best Picture. It is a film that each time I watch, I find it to be more and more rewarding. It is heartbreaking, for sure. It is incredible in terms of the acting. Does a really good job of making the setting come to life. And honestly feel like a living, breathing character in itself. It is a slow burn movie, which is why some people might not like it, as well as, you know, I know some people, unfortunately, even in 2023 are homophobic. But nonetheless, if you're able to get past the pacing and also, you know, if you're, for some reason, you know, homophobic, I would highly recommend everyone else to please watch this movie because it is a great film. Honestly, it is a film that, like I said earlier, it gets better and better on each viewing. But not only that, it's so good. If you haven't done so already, please check out Brokeback Mountain. It's a great film. Should have won Best Picture, but, you know, yeah, Crash won. But anyways, guys, those are my thoughts and my ranking for the 2005 Best Picture nominees. Let me know your ranking of the 2005 Best Picture films down below. And guys, do you think Brokeback Mountain should have won? Do you think Crash was a well-deserved winner? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget the subscription, notification bell, follow me down Letterboxd, and I will catch you guys later.